geez, on YouTube like this before, and it'll probably be a while before I do a live on Facebook again, since the Zuck nuked me from orbit today, and I have no idea why. I got text messages were coming in, and phone calls are coming in, and everybody was asking me, "Where'd you go? What happened?" And then another friend of mine told me that several were nuked from orbit as well. So I don't know what to tell you. We're going to be going about business as usual with the channel. We're going to be finding a back door into getting a new Facebook account set up. Most of you know that everybody is now finding ways to reestablish their presence. So if you follow me on Facebook, if we're friends on Facebook, be looking for a new account from me on there. But I want to tie this into kind of the theme of the channel in the first place, and fascism and true fascism. So if you know what true fascism is, it is not Donald Trump in the White House, Cheeto head or whatever they call him. And true fascism is a blending of private corporations and the federal state. And I've done several videos now of interviews, conversations with people who have helped me define, well, not helped me define, but have allowed me to demonstrate what fascism looks like today. And what I experienced today, and what many of you have experienced and others have experienced, to be fair, but what I'm experiencing today is a reality in which fascism is taking place in our nation via social media corporations and technocratic, as groups like Facebook and other platforms are actively working on the behest of the regime of the federal state, and even the state, or sometimes even the local state, to silence dissent. They do not, under any circumstances, want anybody to say anything that pushes against the approved narrative, and we've all known this for a while. But as we get closer and closer and closer to the midterm election, you're going to see more and more people having this happen to them. It's not going to just be TC. It's not going to just be some of the others who everybody knows as being more vocal. And that's not me patting myself on the back. That's me saying it's going to happen. It's going to happen to people close to you, people who've had their accounts like I've had since 2009. I mean, we're talking, it's a 13-year account. Gone. Nuked. For what? Why did they nuke my account? All the memories that I have on there, yeah, sure, could be. You could say, well, TC, that's your fault. You could have downloaded photos. You could have, saved some of those memories in a way. But just think of the posts about daily life and prayer requests and struggles and whatnot. Nuked. Gone. Why? Because the regime, the regimists, the bootlicking sycophants, the statists in the social media corporations take their marching orders from the propagandists at the state level. And YouTube does it too. I mean, they gave me a strike on a medical video where I interviewed somebody who was telling their medical story. They gave me a strike for that. And if I get another strike before the strike period ends in January, then I'm down for 2 weeks. No streaming, no posting. Why? It's always about the narrative. It's about controlling the narrative. And that's why we see, as much as I don't care for the way True Social seems to run, they attack True Social as being this right-wing haven for radicals. Getter is attacked as this right-wing haven for radicals. And they have to marginalize those places that are safe for true speech, true free speech, while at the same time controlling and putting fetters on speech on their platforms so that nothing challenges the status quo. And as my theme music for the show, when I'm doing a show, a series, a spot, or whatever it states, you're over the target, fire at will. When you're over the target and you are firing at will, you're going to experience, and I've used this analogy before, you're going to take flak. And that's what they used to tell the bomber pilots during World War II. All right, gentlemen, when you start taking flak, you know you're over the target. And so I'm frustrated at what Facebook did today. I'm frustrated that they came from orbit. Don't get me wrong, I'm pissed. But I'm not pissed that I don't have a voice. I'm pissed about what they took away because of what they don't like. And this is a metaphor, ultimately. In reality, this is a metaphor for the totality of what we've been experiencing for the last 4 years. And it really is a very strong metaphor for what we've been experiencing for the last two and a half years, almost 3 now. Predominantly of, we will take away more than just the surface of what you're experiencing. If we declare you non-essential, you are not essential, and you will agree to be non-essential, or we're going to take even more from you. If we tell you you have to do this, then you will do this, because if you don't do this, then we're going to take away even more from you. Teachers, if you don't agree with certain policy about putting something in your body, then we're going to make you uncomfortable and embarrass you in your school district by making sure everyone knows you are not compliant with our policy by making you, test as you come in every day. Medical professionals at Mayo and Olmsted Medical Center and so on and so forth. You have until X to comply with this demand, or we're going to take things away from you. They appeal to those things that we don't want to lose. They appeal, and when I say appeal, I'm using that word in a very generous way. What they're really doing is they're threatening. Toe the line, or we're going to make you uncomfortable. We're going to take things away from you. And as we see this push now from the left, this social Marxism, this Gramscian theory, they have what they think is momentum. Even though all signs point to a red wave, I don't believe it, by the way. I don't believe the red wave is going to be what everybody says it is. All these signs are pointing to this red wave. The momentum is still on the side of the left because they're in the positions of power predominantly throughout the United States. They have the power of tech, they have the power of social media, they have the power of banking, they have the power of the Federal Reserve, they have the power in decision-making places like school boards and school districts, and most of the major urban centers belong to the left. They have those powers. And they are going to push to get things like environmental and social governance. They're going to get those things in place while they have the power, while they have the ability to take everything away from you. And most people are going to sit back in fear of losing what they love, losing their comfort, losing their peace, losing their happiness in what they've established with friendships and connections and whatnot, no matter where it is, whether it's through a job, whether it's through the ability to hop on in a car and or on a plane and travel across the country to go see loved ones, to go tour something, go on a vacation. They're going to take all of that away from you, and they're going to hold it over your head. You will comply. You will comply, or we will continue to take more from you. And as the statement was said here in the last couple of years, you will own nothing and you will be happy. They've already told you they're coming for all of your stuff. And while it might seem minor to say, well, it's social media, that's technically a private platform, and as a person with strong paleo-conservative, paleo-libertarian positions, there was a time in the last couple of years where I'm like, hey, well, they are private industry. They can determine. But what we found out is that the federal state, the regime, has pushed Zuckerberg, admitted to suppressing the truth about Hunter Biden. Admitted it. Flat out admitted that they suppressed the truth before the last election because the FBI told them they needed to. That's fascism, ladies and gentlemen. That is fascism. And they are going to come for you. The thing that they're going to do is they're going to silence loudmouths like me. They're going to silence other loudmouths. They're going to force us onto these alternative platforms. And I'm going. Getter's coming tonight. I'm going to do it. I'm going to start a TikTok. I don't know what a 52-year-old guy who does political and constitutional commentary and social commentary is going to do on TikTok, but gosh darn it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to find a way. But they are going to push you out of the sphere that you're in. And you're going to be faced now with the reality of, do I continue to speak out, or do I just silence myself to remain comfortable? And it will start very easily with social media. It will start very easily with those things, but they are going to come for you at other places and other levels. And you can say, this is, you're way overreacting, TC. Thousands of people have problems with Facebook every day. It's true. It's true. But nothing happens in a vacuum. Okay? Nothing happens in a vacuum. You have to remember that. Sure, there are people that say stupid things, or there are people that make threats on social media, and they shouldn't. You shouldn't be making any kind of threat at all. But that's not why they came for me. I have a pretty good idea why. Even though I got no notification, it was just nuke, gone. No explanation. You can appeal this if you want to. You have 30 days to do that, but you're nuked. This account is nuked. They will cut you off from your support in whatever way they can. And you have to be ready to say to yourself, am I going to silence myself to keep my comfort? Or will I continue to speak out and be vocal and find ways of doing it? And the other thing that you need to do is those people that you really want to stay in contact with, make sure you have their contact information before you do get nuked from orbit. Because I had to scramble and reach out to a lot of people today. So tune in here tonight at 7:30 Central Standard Time. I've got a local political candidate, Justin Milliner, coming on. He is literally in the town that I live in. And I've not done anybody that close to home as far as conversations about their political points of view. He's running for city council here in Spring Valley. And we're going to sit down and have a conversation at 7:30 tonight. So I would really appreciate you guys pushing that out onto Facebook for me, ironically. And come in and listen, because I don't know where Justin stands on things. I really don't. So it'll be interesting to see where the conversation goes. I like Justin. He's a nice kid. I say kid. He's got adult children now, basically, but he's far younger than I am. So, as always, friends, no closing or intro music this time. But as always, fight for your freedom. It belongs to you. Fight for your liberty. It is yours. And Sixth Emperor, Tyrannus.